Okay, please bear with me for a minute while I explain what this video is going to be about. It is about making an accordion journal and using up all these scraps of papers on my desk. It's a small pile, but my challenge to myself is I have to use all of these papers up, or if I don't use them, I have to throw them in the can. And that's really hard for people who like to keep scraps. So here we go. Let's make this accordion journal. I have one of these just in case. I have some paints and I'm going to try to get a color theme going and have fun. I notice that what she does a lot is she does a lot of layering. And what I've tried to do is choose some color themes that I want, so that way you don't have to watch me go through fumbling back and forth, making decisions, because sometimes that can happen when you're, I don't know if it's the camera going or if it's, you don't realize the camera's going and you're just going back and forth. So I thought this black and white will go good with that, or the green and the black and white will go good. And actually, see this? I have already put this under here, and if I want to keep some of that, I could do both. Nice. It's going to go this way. I might even do this. Now, when you glue stuff down that has letters, do you put them sideways in all different ways? I have something about me that I don't like myself. I don't like to put it sideways. It has to be the way it's supposed to be when you're reading it. I don't know why, but that's what I do. So let's do this glue. I had to speed up the camera because it seemed like it might be a little too boring. I don't know if it's just my computer or the updates that we had to do to our computer, but something is just not right. I don't know if it's iMovie. I can't figure it out. Things are like moving slowly. I could not download my video that I made. It took me 2 days. I had to reset this, that, and the other. And I don't know if I reset the wrong thing, but it's just not the same. Is anybody going through that, or is it just me? I might have messed something up, knowing me. Well, for this video, I'm going to stick to what I was originally talking about here, which was layering. And I did have a lot of fun with this journal making process. And the gluing is so much easier with this little small glue stick, and the purple dries clear. Keep coordinating. I have trouble sometimes with layering because I feel like I'm covering too much of something up. You can also use Mod Podge instead of a glue stick. Notice how I'm taking things from the pile. That little piece of green just added something to that tag, I think. And that's how I get to use those little bits and pieces that should probably be thrown away, but oh, they can probably go somewhere, I think, in my head. And I'm sorry, I probably should have put the journal up a little bit higher for the camera, but I didn't notice because there was such glare on my camera that I was a little low. So please bear with me with that because I've made this video, 3 or 4 times, and it's not that much of a special video. I don't know why I didn't have a good handle on it, but at this point I just wanted to video this accordion journal because I thought it has its own specialness to it. So I really wanted to just get it out there because it's just so easy and so much fun to do. That's the reason why it's special. And because I used my scraps. And sometimes I can be working on a journal or page and I can just be not feeling the direction it's supposed to be going in is cohesive. But that's when you just have to trust the art process and enjoy and hope that when you're done it'll all come together. And this is not perfection, my dear, I tell myself. This is enjoying, because after all, if we think about it, we're just gluing pieces of paper on top of each other and making layers, and sometimes only an artist can really appreciate that form because it makes no sense to some people. But to us, it's beautiful because we like the whole process and we know what it takes to just be sitting there working on something and just feeling like, oh yeah, that could go good there, that will go great there. And usually it does for the artist's eye, and it just does something to your heart when you just go, that worked out, when in the beginning it didn't look like, it looked like a mess. And that's the beauty of art, though, isn't it? It's just art. I said this a long time ago when I was in 5th grade. I was trying to make the picture look like the teacher's picture, and mine just wasn't coming out right. And it was just a simple take the chalk on a piece of black construction paper and draw a snowman in the winter and maybe a house behind it. And she said to me, Joanne, it's beautiful. And I said, I don't like it. It doesn't look like yours. And she said, Joanne, art is what you make it, and your art is special. And it will always be special because it's just your art. And the 5th grade teacher did something to me. She made me believe in myself and to really enjoy art. And I just took it with me throughout my whole life. So, say things to people that are uplifting and encouraging. That's why I always say I read the comments and I really get inspired, and they really make me thankful. Number one, that somebody's watching my video, maybe. But just being uplifting and encouraging, you just never know where that's going to go in somebody's life. And you don't know what's going on in their life. And sometimes it could be just the right spark that they needed to just keep them going. Now, I have this sticker book that my daughter-in-law bought me for Christmas a couple years ago, and I'm thinking that it needs a nice piece of fruit right in the middle. I would love to draw one of those sprawling leaves, but I need more practice. It's simple lines, but I still feel like I need more practice. So I'm looking for just the right color, and I had put some bookmarks on the pages that might be appropriate for the colors that I've chosen. And still I flip through, and I think I find it in the back on a page that I never even bookmarked. But that's okay. I decide I'm going to put some white paint or off-white paint in different areas. And again, I get so caught up in what I'm doing that I forget to make sure that the book is lined up with the camera. So yeah, I get a little heavy-handed sometimes with the paintbrush, and really what I end up doing that I feel is the best look is when I dip my finger in the paint and then just put it on that way. And, you know, it just seems like it goes a lot smoother. The reason why I'm doing this is because I feel like the edges need to be, I don't want to say glued down, but just kind of melted into the page. And when you put the paint on it, it just makes it feel like it's more melted and grounded. Grounded, that's the word I'm using, thinking about. It feels like it gets grounded. And the sticker book for the pears, when I end up putting paint on it, I feel like I put a little too much paint. And I end up rubbing some of it off because with this sticker, you can do that. I still have yet to purchase the rub-on stickers. I really would like to do that. I haven't really wanted to allow myself to buy more supplies because I have a lot already. And so I'm trying to just use what I have because it's just makes sense to do that. But someday it's on my list. I'm going to buy some botanical, fruity rub-on stickers that a lot of people, it seems like a lot of people, I'm not sure if they're in the UK or not, but I see a lot of people using them, and I think they're, yeah, from England. I'm not too good geographic, so please forgive me on that one, but yeah, they must have a good supply there because it's not something that I see when I go and look it up on, even to look it up to put it in my basket. I didn't even see some of the nice things that some people have. Sometimes you can find similar supplies that people are using, and not that I want to copy, just like my art teacher said, make it my own, but there's nothing wrong with using a springboard from somebody else's idea, and you just make your own, because making a duplicate of course wouldn't be right, and it's not going to help with your creative process. So I said all that to say someday I'm going to get those transfer things. Okay, so here's where I get myself distracted. I go in to look for something and I think, maybe I will put some green on this page. I was thinking maybe I would dip my brush into the green, and then I was thinking, no, I don't want to ruin my pad. So then I just take the pad and just start doing this all over the page. And I'm not sure if I liked it or not. So I left it there for a little bit while I still kept trying to anchor down my sticker with some of the white, which then got dipped into the green. And I'm not liking this too much. But as I said in the beginning, I'm trying to trust the process because, no, I just got to take it off. I just feel like, no, I just kind of took that in the wrong direction, and so get the paper towel out and get rid of that. And I don't want to lose the sticker though, because I like the sticker. So I just stare at it for a little bit and try to come up with another plan. After staring at the page for a little bit, I decide it needs something. So I'm going to cut out this digital and see if that will help bring it back together, because I need to ring it back in or reel it back in, because it's going in the total direction that I don't want it to go, and I'm not feeling creative. I should probably have just maybe stopped and just gave it a little break, but I was working with my granddaughter and I just wanted to keep working for us to work together. It's funny because as I'm editing this and I'm looking at the page and I'm thinking, should have just left well enough alone, Joanne. Just leave it as it is because it looks okay now. But I decided to go back in with the paint again to anchor it, and it kind of is looking so muted that the pairs are just like lost now. So well, process, process, process. Just keep working with it. I got a fresh idea. I've had this piece of cardboard for a while because I like the way the lines are on this, and I imagined that someday I would use it as a stamp. So today is that day, and I really like it. I wish that I had turned it over a different direction after I stamped it, and I wish I had done it up in the corner, but nevertheless, I think it adds a little bit of character to this page. But what happens is I get inspired to get out more stamps because I am not sure that there's enough stamps now on this page now that that one looks so good. It's kind of like uh, if a little is good, more is better. Oh boy. So that's what I do with this. I decide I'm going to put some more stamps on this, and putting it in the ink, it looked like it got a little too inky. This may sound a little funny, but rubber stamps is just not something I've mastered. See, sometimes they just don't come out right, and I feel like they're all smudgy. And I hope I put this up on the camera where it can be seen because it came out pretty cute. So I used this little marking pen and put some dots, but you can't really see them too good, I don't think, on the screen, but I like how they look. Today I bought a pen that, it's not really a pen, it's an ink one with white, so I'm really excited to look at that and see how that works. It seems like there's a lot of quiet spots in this video, but it's kind of on purpose. Lately I'm not liking the music choices that I have, so I'm just either gonna have some spaces where you're just gonna watch and hopefully enjoy, or I'll just be gabbing. Now I found this green stamp, which is not really green, it's a golden stamp, and that seemed like that worked perfect there, and I wanted to ground it in with a splash of paint. So that's how I seem to like the lines better when I did that. And sometimes it seems like when you start adding something, it goes all over the place. Like I'm starting on this side, I'll probably end up on the other side, just like I did with the dots, but that's kind of how it goes. And now this is where I've decided I really don't like that I dulled the pears down too much with the paint. So I thought I would try to rub the paint off. It's acrylic and it seems to be rubbing off. And now I like how that comes out now. It brings the pears back to life. And sometimes I want things to be dulled out in the background, but in this case I wanted the pears to come forward. So just rubbing the paint off worked great for that, and I think it looks better. So that's it for the crafty part. Now I'm going to do a flip through of this. So this is what I came up with. I challenged myself with the papers in the front of my desk. I put a pile, 3 different piles, and I told myself I had to use them up or I had to throw them away because I collect a lot of papers. I know none of you do that, but I do. I mean, this is just one of my envelopes of little papers. But, like, how could I throw that little bird away? It's just so cute, and those colors. Oh my goodness, I just have all these little resources in this envelope that my son gave me for my birthday last year. So, that's that. Now, let's look at this journal. Now, it's got a base, cardboard base, and you just glue and paint and glue, and it turns out to be so much fun. I'm not going to light my candle. We were experimenting with our painting markers, but we didn't like them. I didn't anyways. Okay, so this is a nice, pretty, to me, that's a nice, pretty serene. Using up my French vocabulary cards. And of course, this is my favorite color. And this is from a book magazine that I've had for a few years that I couldn't think of what she might be saying. I mean, take a look at her face. What do you think she's saying? Tell me in the comments below what you think she's saying. I think she's saying, yes, I will. Okay. As usual, I will insert a YouTube advertisement here that says, please help me to get on the
YouTube algorithm boss by watching the video to the end, because that's how I get on the algorithm. Otherwise, they just keep passing me by. So instead of me fussing about that, please just watch it to the end. And I thank you so much for that. I have some papers and things left over from Happy Mail that I once got from Dale from Loving Out Loud. And this is one of the little journals that she made me. It was an accordion journal. And she sent along a bunch of papers in that. And so this was one of them. I'm not sure if she did this. She may have drawn this. I'm not sure. But I just found a spot for it. And I have lots of digitals and Shanuki art. I watched a video of hers, so I might tag her too. And I learned how to do my own antique tape. That's what I'm calling it. And I tried to do one of those big flowy leaf things, and it just didn't turn out very well. So I opted to keep that in there, but I feel like it should have been bigger. And I have a nice sticker book that my daughter-in-law gave me a couple of years ago that I used the stickers out of. 23, that's a significant number. Some numbers can be significant for just you, but I finally got out my stamps. I was looking for something and I found a stamp. That's how that happens for me. This is, excuse me, one of my favorite stamps, the Queen Anne's lace. I used to have those in my garden, and my husband cleans my garden out in the spring or the fall when I'm not looking, and he just pulls everything up. So anyways, there's that. So this is an envelope that has a little pocket. Now, in keeping with my rules for myself, I said I had to get rid of everything, so I tucked a couple of things in here. My friend Suzanne made me some paper, and music paper that's really old is always such a nice, you can always find a spot for that. You can even journal on them. And I just made this little card and decided for now that's where those will go. Now the journal also has another side to it, so let's do that side. Did some cutouts and some paint. You know, sometimes you do a couple of pages and you're not sure that you're really happy with it. Well, this is one of them, but I may go back to it another time and just fool around with it. That's the great thing about art journals, is that you can just pull them out and work in them if you feel like it. Now this one is one of my favorites. Just love this old-fashioned wallpaper. It's a digital, but it just has that look of this joke. This was in this is 1898. I have an autograph book that I picked up at a store that just has a few things in it. And what does it say? Always try to do your duty. Always try to do your duty. I have some tissue paper from a few years ago, I think from 2020, that I have kept, and I put it in every now and then, and I don't know if you like it, but I just love it. And I have a bunch of notes from a pastor who went to heaven that my husband gave me. And this was one of his notes for one of his sermons. And it was just tucked in. So, and somehow the bird got upside down, which I'm not a fan of for myself. But I wasn't going to tear it up because, it's, you know, sometimes you got to do things a little differently. And Daisy is my granddaughter's name. So I had to keep that there. So the thing nice about the accordion is that it just goes like this, and it can just keep going on and on. And you can make it, you can make yourself a weekly journal. You can make yourself a monthly journal. We've done that with Junk Journal July and I think Junk Journal January with Meg Journals that she does every year. And I participated in a couple of them, and she makes, I think, a 30-day one. And sometimes just make, you know, you sit down and you just make one just so that you can play and do art in it, because that's what we love to do as artists, especially junk journal artists. We have fun and we just do things out of the box. Oh, speaking of the box, as I get ready to finish up, this is just a cereal box. I did do a video on this, but this is just me practicing collage, and this is just a box that has now what I use it for is, let's see if I can come back away. I just have stuff in it. Okay, yeah, more hoarding stuff, I know. But I can't throw this away because I will use that. You know, things like this that are left over from a project. And, you know, you just need to keep your desk in order sometimes, or I feel that need sometimes. And it's in order for me. It might not be in order for you, but I call my craft room the blessed mess, because it is. And it's all the way that you think about things. So for this journal, this is going to continue to be fun. If I need to do touch-ups, or it might just be complete and I might just set it aside and do another one. And the best part of this too is that my granddaughter kept saying, "Grammy, I can't believe I made a journal in one day." In one day. I mean, I think it took us about 3 hours, and we just worked on it until she was finished with it, because she kept saying, "I can't believe I'm almost done with this." And we finished it. So thanks for watching. Happy journaling, and we'll hang out again next week. See you in the next one.